There are seasons in life when everything feels like it's falling apart. Moments when the weight of pain, failure, loss, or betrayal becomes so heavy that it feels like something inside you has broken beyond repair. You wonder if you'll ever smile again, if you'll ever trust again, if you'll ever feel whole. And in those dark places, the enemy whispers lies that this is the end, that you're finished, that your life will never be the same. But I want to speak a deeper truth into your heart today. Brokenness is not the end. In fact, it's often the place where true strength begins. You see, when everything is going well, when life is comfortable and predictable, we tend to rely on our own ability. We move through life thinking we have it all together. But when something shatters, when a dream fails, a relationship ends, or life takes an unexpected turn, we are confronted with the reality of our fragility. We feel exposed, vulnerable, and weak, and yet, in that very place, something sacred happens. When we come to the end of ourselves, we find the beginning of something far greater. Think of a clay jar that's been cracked. It no longer looks perfect. It no longer functions the way it used to. But when light is placed inside, it shines through the broken places. That's how God often works in us. It's not in our polished, perfect moments that His strength shines brightest, it's through our brokenness. Because in our weakness, His power is made perfect. Many people try to hide their wounds, their failures, their pain. They wear masks and pretend everything is okay. But true healing doesn't come from pretending. It comes from surrender. When we are honest about our pain, when we bring our broken pieces before the One who created us, He doesn't discard us, He begins to rebuild us. And He doesn't just put us back the way we were. No, He makes us stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. The very wounds that once brought shame become the evidence of grace. Think about the heroes of faith. None of them had easy paths. They were rejected, betrayed, thrown into pits, prisons, and fiery furnaces. But every breaking point became a launching pad. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers and sold into slavery. But his story didn't end there. In fact, the pit was only the beginning of a journey that would lead him to a place of power and purpose. David, before he was king, ran for his life in caves and wilderness. Ruth lost everything, but her faithfulness led her into a future she never imagined. Over and over again, we see this divine pattern. Brokenness gives birth to strength. Even in your life today, if you look back, you'll notice something. The times that nearly broke you, the seasons that brought tears and silence, were the same times that shaped your character the most. You may not have seen it then, but growth was happening. You were being stretched. You were being refined. The fire didn't destroy you. It forged you. There is a strength in you that you didn't know existed until the storm came. A faith you didn't know you had until the foundation was shaken. A resilience you never needed until everything fell apart. That's the miracle of brokenness. It reveals the depth of what God planted inside you. And what the world sees as weakness, heaven sees as potential. You are not broken beyond healing. You are not too far gone. You have not fallen too deep. The very area of your life that feels the most shattered may be the area God is preparing to use for something greater than you can imagine. Your scars are not signs of failure, they are signs that you survived. They are proof that grace carried you through. So, don't give up. Don't let despair convince you that this is the end. It may feel like the last chapter, but God is still writing your story. And in His hands, even the broken pieces become part of a beautiful mosaic. What you thought disqualified you may become the very thing that inspires others. Hold on. Healing takes time, but it will come. Restoration is possible. Your strength is rising, not in the absence of pain, but through it. And one day you'll look back and realize it was in the breaking that you were made strong. When life crushes you under the weight of sorrow, betrayal, disappointment, or loss, it's easy to believe that you're weak. It's easy to think that you don't have what it takes to keep going. And when the world keeps pressing harder, when the voices around you get louder, telling you that you'll never make it, that you're not enough, you start to wonder if maybe they're right. But let me tell you something that those voices will never say. Your true strength does not come from the world, and it never did. The strength that sustains you, the strength that holds you up when everything is falling apart, is not found in your willpower, your plans, your talent, or your status. It is God, given, and because of that, it is unshakable. You see, the world gives a temporary kind of strength. It applauds outward confidence, loud success, the kind of power that fades as quickly as it comes. But when the storms hit, and they will, worldly strength crumbles. It has no root, no anchor, no lasting foundation. That's why people can look like they have it all together and still fall apart behind closed doors. That's why someone who seemed strong one day can disappear into silence the next. But the strength that comes from above, that's different. That kind of strength is eternal, quiet, steady. It's the strength that carried Moses through the wilderness, David through the valley of the shadow of death, and Jesus through the cross. It doesn't always look impressive on the outside. It doesn't make headlines, but it endures. It stands when the world says fall. It keeps going when everything else says quit. There are moments in life when God allows the noise to quiet down, not to punish you, but to reveal what's really inside you. When the applause fades and the crowd disappears, He shows you that what's left isn't weakness. It's the strength He placed in you before you ever took your first breath. And the truth is, you've already been walking in that strength more than you realize. Every time you got back up after being knocked down, every time you forgave when you had every right to hate, every time you chose faith over fear or hope over despair, you were walking in age. Strength the world doesn't understand. That strength is built not in the spotlight, but in the secret place. It's born in tears, shaped in trials, and refined in silence. God is not just trying to toughen you up. He's awakening you to the power He placed within you. Power that doesn't depend on your circumstances, emotions, or resources, but on His Spirit, which lives inside of you. And because this strength comes from God, nothing in this world can take it away. Not heartbreak, not failure, not sickness, not betrayal, not even your own doubts. People may walk away, but His strength remains. Plans may fall through, but His strength endures. Life may shake you to your core, but His strength will hold you together. You might bend, but you will not break because you were never meant to carry the weight of life alone. God never asked you to do that. He only asks you to trust the one who lives within you. So if today you're tired, if your soul is weary, if you feel like you can't take another step, stop and remember, your strength does not run on your own power. It runs on His, and He has never once run dry. You are not weak because you feel broken. You are not defeated because you're hurting. You are human, but you are filled with divine power. The same power that raised Christ from the dead is available to you right now, in this very moment. Don't let your feelings determine your strength. Don't let your past define your identity. Don't let the world dictate your worth. Your strength is not in what you have. It's in who holds you, and He is strong enough, always has been. Pain has a way of making us feel invisible. When we go through heartbreak, rejection, loss, or failure, it can seem like the world moves on while we're left behind, stuck in silence and sorrow. In those moments, a quiet lie creeps into our minds, the lie that says we've been forgotten, that no one sees what we're carrying, that no one cares, that even God has looked away. But that lie is just that, a lie, because pain does not mean you are forgotten. Your suffering is not a sign of abandonment. In fact, it is often in your most painful seasons that heaven leans in the closest. The silence you feel is not absence. The loneliness is not a void. There is a presence with you in the middle of it all, a presence that understands, a presence that stays. Sometimes the most powerful moments of growth happen when we feel the most alone. The seed that breaks in the soil is not dead. It's just beginning to live. In the same way, when your heart breaks, when your plans fall apart, when your strength seems to vanish, something deeper is awakening inside you. It may not feel like growth. It may not feel like hope, but it is. Every tear you shed, every ache in your chest, every silent cry that never reaches another person's ears, God hears all of it. And He remembers. Your pain has not gone unnoticed. There is no wound so hidden that the healer cannot see. There is no sorrow so heavy that He cannot carry. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are seen, you are known, and you are deeply loved, even when life is too painful to feel it. The world may tell you to be strong by pretending you're fine, but strength is not pretending. Real strength is being honest about your pain while choosing to believe it's not the end of your story. Real strength is saying, even though I'm hurting, I will not give up. And in that choice, something shifts. The darkness begins to lift, even if only by a fraction. A quiet strength begins to rise from within, the kind of strength that only comes from walking through the valley and trusting that you will not be there forever. It is easy to feel forgotten when your prayers seem unanswered, when the doors stay closed, when people walk away, or when your dreams fall apart. But some of the most beautiful transformations happen in hidden places. Just because you can't see the progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because others don't acknowledge your pain doesn't mean your pain isn't real. And just because you feel alone doesn't mean you are. You are not forgotten, not for a moment. Sometimes, What you're going through is not meant to destroy you, but to draw out something stronger, deeper, and more eternal. What if the pain you're carrying is preparing you for something greater? What if what you're going through now is building the very character and compassion you'll need to step into your purpose? That doesn't make the pain good, but it does mean the pain won't be wasted. God doesn't discard the broken, He rebuilds them. He doesn't overlook the hurting, He comforts them. You don't have to hold it all together to be loved. You don't have to fix everything to be seen. You simply have to breathe, to stay open, and to keep trusting that even in this moment, especially in this moment, you are not forgotten. One day, you will look back on this season not with shame or regret, but with gratitude, because even though it was hard, you made it through. Even though it hurt, you healed. Even though it felt like the end, it was a new beginning. And in that journey, you'll realize something powerful, that your pain didn't define you, it refined you. And all along the way, you were never alone. When the storm hits, it never asks for permission. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It crashes in, tearing through your plans, shaking your confidence, and leaving you wondering if you'll ever stand again. Life has a way of doing that, of showing up without warning and breaking the very things you thought were secure. Maybe it's the sudden loss of someone you love. Maybe it's betrayal from someone you trusted. Maybe it's the quiet ache of dreams that never came true. Whatever form it takes, the storm can feel final, like an ending written in stone. But I want to remind you today, your comeback is greater than the storm. You see, the storm may have knocked you down, but it hasn't knocked you out. You're still here. You're still breathing. And that alone is proof that God is not finished with you yet. Because the storm doesn't define the story. The response does. And within you is a strength you didn't even know existed until the winds started howling. Strength is not proven in calm waters. It is revealed in chaos. When the winds scream and the waves rise, that's when true power shows itself, not in how loud you shout, but in how firmly you stand. You might feel shaken, you might feel cracked, but what's broken can be rebuilt, and what's scarred can become stronger than before. The world will tell you that storms destroy, and sometimes they do, but storms also uncover. They peel back the surface and show you who you really are. They strip away the false, the shallow, the temporary, and what's left is something more solid, more real, more rooted. The storm might have taken some things from you, but it also gave you a new depth, a new fire, and a new sense of purpose. Some of the greatest victories in life are born in seasons of loss, because it's in the empty moments that we begin to understand fullness, not of material things, but of faith, hope, and courage. It's easy to feel strong when everything is going right, but real strength is tested when nothing makes sense, and you still choose to believe, to move forward, to rebuild. And yes, rebuilding takes time, it takes tears, it takes pain, but it also takes faith that what's ahead is worth fighting for, even when you can't see it yet. Faith that God is still working in your story, even in silence. Faith that no matter how hard the fall, there is a rise waiting for you that will make the pain worth it. So don't give up. Don't let the storm convince you that your best days are behind you. The comeback is not only possible, it's promised to those who hold on. The same God who calmed the sea is still calming hearts today. The same voice that said, "Peace, be still," is still speaking over your life, even if all you hear right now is noise. It might not be overnight. The healing might be slow. The road back might be long. But step by step, day by day, you will rise again, not in your own strength, but in the strength of the One who never leaves you in the storm alone. And when you rise, you won't be the same. You'll be wiser. You'll be stronger. You'll be softer where it matters and tougher where it counts. This comeback won't be about proving anything to others. It will be about discovering what God always knew was inside you: resilience, courage, endurance, and unshakable faith. The storm may have introduced you to your limits, but your comeback will introduce you to your purpose. So lift your head, dry your tears. The story is not over, and the next chapter. It's the one where the sun breaks through the clouds, where beauty rises from ashes, and where you walk not as someone broken, but as someone rebuilt, renewed, and ready. Because your comeback is greater than the storm, and it starts now. You're still standing for a reason. That may sound simple, maybe even obvious, but pause for a moment and let those words settle deep into your heart. The fact that you're still here, still breathing, still waking up in the morning is no accident. It's not luck. It's not random chance. It is purpose. You've walked through fire that others wouldn't have survived. You've endured pain that can't be put into words. There were nights you cried yourself to sleep, days you thought you wouldn't make it, moments you doubted your worth, questioned your strength, and wondered if you had anything left to give. But look at you now. You're still here. Yes, you may have some scars. Yes, your heart may still carry the weight of old wounds. But scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you healed. They tell the story of battles fought and survived. And your survival is a statement louder than any words you could speak. It says, "I have been through the storm, and I did not drown." You see, the enemy thought you would give up. The world may have written you off. Some people might have turned their backs on you, thinking you wouldn't recover. But they didn't know what you carry inside. They didn't know the strength planted in your soul by the one who made you. You were never walking alone, even in your darkest hour, even when you couldn't see a way out, even when your own voice was too tired to pray. God never left your side. In the silence, He was there. In the chaos, He held you. In the confusion, He whispered peace to your soul. So when you wonder why you're still standing, remember this: God kept you for a reason. You're not standing because you've never been knocked down. You're standing because every time you were hit, you got back up. You're standing not because life has been easy, but because grace has been sufficient. You're standing because something inside you refused to quit, even when quitting seemed easier. And that reason you're still standing, it's not just about your past. It's about your future. You see, survival isn't the end goal. It's the setup for the assignment ahead. There is still something you're meant to do. someone you're meant to help, a difference you're meant to make. And the pain you've endured has prepared you for that purpose. The fire you walked through refined you. The heartbreak gave you compassion. The loss gave you perspective. The silence taught you to listen. And the journey taught you to trust. Nothing you've been through will be wasted. Every tear has been counted. Every sleepless night has been seen. And while you may not have all the answers yet, trust this, your life still has meaning. Every breath you take is another opportunity, another chance to rebuild, another moment to rise stronger than before. You may not feel strong right now. That's okay. Strength isn't the absence of struggle. It's the decision to keep moving even when the struggle is real. It's the choice to believe there's more to your story. It's the quiet faith that says, I don't know how, but I will rise. Because you will. You're not defined by your lowest moments. You're not defined by what happened to you. You're not defined by who walked away, by what failed, or by how far you fell. You're defined by the God who lifted you, the grace that sustained you, and the calling that still waits for you. And yes, your calling still stands. It's not too late. You haven't missed it. You're not too old, too broken, too far gone. As long as there is breath in your lungs, there is purpose in your steps. There is healing for your heart. There is hope for your future, and there is more for your life. So don't give up now. Don't let the voice of defeat drown out the whisper of destiny. Don't let the fear of failure keep you from stepping forward. You have overcome too much to turn back. You have seen too much to doubt now. Let your life be a testimony not of perfection, but of perseverance. Let your story inspire others to believe again, to hope again, to rise again, because someone out there needs your voice. Someone needs your wisdom. Someone needs to know that they too can survive what tried to break them. And maybe that's the greatest reason you're still standing to be a light for someone else still walking through the darkness. So take a deep breath, straighten your back, wipe your tears, and keep walking. You're not finished. You're not forgotten. You are not alone. You're still standing for a reason, and that reason will unfold day by day, step by step, into something more beautiful than you can imagine. Keep going. You were made for this.